What we are, the Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life, is a group of like-minded individuals who believe in higher learning. You could almost say that we're a mystery school, but I never really liked that term. I believe in speaking in plain language, that these higher concepts of spirit do not have to be some unresolvable mystery that I just lead you toward, and then the only thing that we share in common after that is this great truth that can't be spoken about, and we just encourage each other to be silent and go within. I think there's a lot more to it than that there's actually a lot to talk about, and that is vast and complicated as the universe is, as God is, as we are, that this can all actually be logically understood and spoken in plain, understandable words. So we are a place of higher learning. We're what a church should be. Like I chose to call this a church, and I had a lot of negative feedback in that direction when I chose it. A lot of my friends said, "Michael, what the hell? You're gonna choose to call yourself a church? Like church is a bad word in the spiritual community. Religion, bad word. Church, bad word." Well, I believe we're in a day and an age where we're reclaiming these things. We have an opportunity to remake these things, because what is the church? If you look at the definition, just straight definition of what a church is, it's a group of like-minded spiritual people that meet on a regular to semi-regular basis who share similar beliefs. Now, churches in the past have been not so great. It's always been a hierarchical system based on money, with one person at the top dictating everything. This one person at the top is the receiver for God. He once a week or once a month or whatever speaks God's will for you, and everybody follows the leader. That's not what this church is all about. It's a system of awakening, relationship with God, within your own being. We provide tools. We believe that to know and to understand God requires energy mastery. It requires consciousness expansion. And I remember before I came up with the Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life, I was musing to myself how cool it would have been, to if, because I was forced to go to church and I hated it. And I was the first one in my family to rebel and to insist that I'm no longer going to church. But I was musing about how cool it would be. I was Mormon. Mormons go to church for 3 hours, every day. So I was like, well, what if the first hour was like, we get together to sing and we do the sacrament and all that. But then what if afterward, what if Sunday school was actually meditation? Like they teach you clairvoyance, out of body travel, how to see into other realities, how to be one with the world around you. These really cool, amazing things. Even learning, telekinesis and the ability to heal other people. Like how cool would that have been? And my answer to that was, well, that would have been extremely cool. Like I would have looked forward all week to going to church. And that's when I started getting the idea to make this the Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life, to blend all of my history. I've been teaching self-empowerment and energy mastery for 14 years. I first came on the scene in 2011, and I was all about self-empowerment. My belief at the time was I wanted to create a system of learning for higher consciousness that would be available to everybody, no matter what their spiritual beliefs were. So I quite consciously, through avatar energy mastery, pretty much left God out of the whole equation. Well, once I went through certain hardships in 2018, 2019, some of you were around during that time, and I don't have to tell you, for those of you who weren't, I don't really want to go into it, but I had to swim with the sharks for a time. I got to see behind the scenes just what kind of malevolent forces are at work against humanity, and how much we as individuals actually need God. this Metaphysical Church of the Tree of Life is a blend of metaphysics, of energy mastery, of spirituality, and we do have common beliefs, and that's what this meeting is about. The affirmation and alignment meeting. For those who are already donating members, by the way, we are a donation-based center of higher learning. So apart from these 3 live streams that you get invited to if you're on our mailing list, we do 2 live streams a month for you. If you like what you hear, we have a whole community. We have a social networking forum where I've uploaded pretty much all of my teachings, from Avatar Energy Mastery to my new material, which is how to use that mastery to have a massively enhanced relationship with God, with the collective consciousness of mankind, and with the natural world around you. It's like, now that you are self-empowered, now that you're on the path to self-empowerment, what is the wise thing to do with that self-empowerment? Well, I can testify that the wisest thing to do with your self-empowerment, with your consciousness expansion, is to devote it to your relationship with God. So this affirmation and alignment meeting, for those that are already members of our community that have chosen a donation, like I said, we are donation based. So I do expect some level of contribution. I've worked really hard to put together my learning materials, and I've suffered in my 3rd dimensional life. It's unimaginable what I've been through. So this is my calling. This is what I do. So I just ask for a donation, at the very least, a token of esteem. And so those of you that can afford to give more can give more. Those that give less, give less. But for those of you that are here, that are already donating members, this is still an important meeting to attend, because we refresh our beliefs. Our understandings of reality are from a higher dimensional interpretation. And as we go about our 3rd dimensional lives during the weeks that follow this meeting, it's invariable, inevitable, that we're going to fall out of our higher dimensional beliefs, because the 3D world is so reinforced around us. So for those of us that are already on this path, it's an opportunity for us to work on our alignment. And affirmations is one way that we do that. For those of you who are still just on the mailing list, this is a chance for you to hear what we're all about. What are our core beliefs? Okay, so you're a church, like that's odd that you chose that. Well, I've already explained that. And so what a church should be is a group of spiritual people that have come together with a similar beliefs, right? Like the difference between religion and spirituality is spirituality encourages you to have your own relationship with the divine, and it encourages you to be self-empowered and to get your own answers from God. Well, we encourage the opposite. We provide a path in order for you to be self-empowered and to be self-sufficient. But in the spiritual community as a whole, I've noticed that there's it's just a new level of ego. It's the spiritual ego. Spiritual people I have found to be the most egotistical people that there are. It's just a natural tendency. I'm not trying to cast stones or like I was there, and I'm sure I'm even still partially there. It's natural human tendencies that we all have to work to overcome. But what I see in the spiritual community is too much contrast, too many contrasting beliefs, too many different teachers from too many different disciplines, and everyone thinking that they know the truth. Excuse my language, but it's like a clusterfuck of confusion. There's no cohesion. Like, you get a group of 20 spiritual people together, and I've done that before many times, and it's like a bunch of roosters running around the hen house, like everyone trying to prove themselves. So I started thinking, what if we can find some common ground? Like we as spiritual people, we have our own experiences. We have our own relationship with God. We do not seek an authority, somebody else, to tell us God's will for us. Well, that's never going to be me. That's not me at all. I'm simply going to enhance your relationship with God through my teachings of self-empowerment. However, if after all of these out-of-body experiences, all of these experiences in meditation, all of these experiences that all of us spiritual people have had, there has to be some common ground, a system of beliefs from our direct experience that is cohesive, so that we as a spiritual community can begin to thrive, so that we can begin to multiply each other and to empower each other. So the core beliefs of this metaphysical church, I have spent a lot of time. I don't think with my head, I think with my heart. So I plant seeds in the heart, and then I allow these seeds of thought to grow up into my mind. And what I've noticed when you live life this way by planting the seeds in the heart instead of doing brainstorming, is that the divine, God, will only allow worthy seeds to flower through the throat and actually make it to your mind center. So I literally spent years with these seeds planted in my heart. I knew that I wanted to create this metaphysical church, but I didn't quite know exactly how to summarize um, my beliefs, which are through direct experience. So cohesion was the main thing that I had in mind. By the time I was to voice to the public what my beliefs were, I wanted it to be compatible with everything. And I think that I've done a good job in that, or God has done a good job in that by allowing the right seeds to flower in my mind. So you'll find, as I described to you, my beliefs, that it could fit with any background, whether you come from a Muslim, whether you come from the Eastern Taoist traditions, or Toltec, or Essenic, or even Catholic, or whatever, there's a compatibility there.